How's it going, guys? Welcome to Audio Addiction. We have Sorry Mom with us today, and they can say their names and what they do in the band.
Hi, I'm Kari. I play the bass.
Hi, I'm Juno. I'm the vocalist and I play guitar.
There we go. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on. Always much appreciated. I want to give a shout outs to Becky at Big Picture. She's been where I've been working with her for I don't even know. I've lost track of how many years at this point, but she's great. She always sends me some awesome bands. So, um, wanted to give you a lot of thanks for coming on. I did check out a couple of your songs before we hopped on, and I was like, this has got some great like punk energy. So it felt very right to have on the channel. So, but I wanted to know, and I'm sure you get asked this a lot, is how did Sorry Mom start out? How did you guys wind up, formulating the band? I'm very much a nerd in that aspect, so I love to know how bands kind of come together. So, what's the origin story of Sorry Mom?
So me and our drummer Karen, who's not here right now, we actually went to college together, and our school had this music scene, like kind of like this club for bands, pretty much. And there were no bands with any women in them at all. And so me and Tara at the time kind of thought that it'd be like a funny little joke to start a band. And at the time, I didn't really know how to play guitar. Get down. I didn't know how to play guitar. We were only doing covers pretty much, and just kind of playing like shows in like people on our campuses basements.
Hmm.
Um, and then eventually, like Taryn graduated, everyone kind of like moved away, and no one was near each other anymore. And I had written some songs that I like sent around to them, and Taryn really really liked them. It was like, we've got to record these, we've got to make an album, and no one else wanted to, so we didn't. And then like another year later, like in the middle of COVID, Taryn was like, I'm interning for a recording studio.
Oh, cool.
I can get us free recording time. Now can we please record the album? And we are like, oh well, if it's free. So we put out the album kind of expecting no one would ever hear it. It sort of blew up a little bit on Spotify and on TikTok
Nice.
at like the day after it came out. And that's kind of everything started there. We ended up meeting up with Kari very shortly after that through one of Tara's mutual friends. And our first show, the three of us together, was a few months after the first album came out. And we've just kind of been going from there ever since, the three of us.
There we go. And then Kari, how did you feel about joining the band? Did you know about Sorry Mom or like that, or obviously Juno and like just everybody kind of working on the band, or was this, or were you like, oh my God, I'd love to join the band. That sounds sick.
The mutual friend was actually an engineer at the studio that Taryn interned
Oh,
at,
okay.
and he was a really good friend of mine, and so he kind of approached me and said, I have this person looking for a bassist, and I love playing live shows. So I checked him out, and I was like, oh, this seems like really fun music. I took the first gig not really thinking much of it, and after we played the first show together, I was like, man, I like really want to be in this band, but I didn't want to be weird about it, so I kind of like played it cool for a while. But it just ended up kind of blossoming from there, and now I'm so happy to be a part of the group.
Yeah, I think you guys have like a very eclectic energy. I had the chance to listen to Shaving My Leg, Hiccup, and then I also listened to the Tiny Desk Teeth, like stripped version of the song. And each one of them had like kind of a different energy to it, certainly. Shaving My Leg was very cool. I liked it. I think Juno's vocals remind me a lot of like Phoebe Bridgers. Like you kind of have this like indie kind of sound, but like the
That's one
actual
I've genuinely never gotten before.
really wow.
Yeah, a
Okay.
lot of people like will be like, oh, your voice sounds like this or that. I've never gotten Phoebe versions before. I actually don't know what she sounds like, but I'll have to look her up
She's
later.
kind of got like that folky, like I feel like you have that kind of folky energy to your vocals. And then I listened to Hiccup after, and I was like, okay, so she's got the punk like background as well too. So I think like vocally it's diverse enough where I was like, she can really like clean up her vocals, but also at the same point like make it really aggressive and gritty. And I think that's you don't get to hear that too much. So I love that kind of combination. And then with Teeth, that was kind of like see you guys like bare bones kind of stripped down. And that was really cool to hear because I think it also adds a different kind of like flavor to the band as well too. So I'm very excited to kind of delve more into Sorry Mom as the songs kind of progress. But overall, I thought it was a very interesting kind of combination of different sounds, but still very like true to that like punk energy. How do you feel like people have been receiving Shaving My Leg? Because I feel like that one's the most current song that has come out. Do you feel like the reception has been good overall for that song?
I do. And I can back it up. I get very, very anal when songs come out about how many streams we're getting, and how quickly we're getting them. And then I'll be like, well, if we don't get this many streams by tomorrow, we're going to be 20 off trajectory. I like do it to myself. And I haven't freaked out yet about this song not getting enough streams. I think people are listening to it and enjoying it. So, um, yes, I think people are responding well to it, because we are not off trajectory. So
So dedicated to the numbers. I love it, you know?
I know it's like I don't know. I like check it every 30 minutes because when the songs first come out for the first week, you get like live updates on how many like it comes in as people stream it. So every time you check, the number is different, and it genuinely makes me go insane. It's almost a relief when the live numbers go away because then I can like focus on
You
like
can
work
just
and
rest,
everything.
yeah.
Yeah,
I feel that way about how when I release interviews, I'm like, oh, I wonder how people like it or not. And then I'll check it in like a month after like the first week and it will be like well on its way. And I'm like, that's awesome. That's so crazy. Or I'll see like somebody comment on something I did like 5 years ago and I'm like, this is strange. Like
yeah.
this is too wild for me. So I obviously best of luck with, the newest single, and obviously you have a new album coming out very soon. So I don't want to spoil anything, so I'll just kind of just keep it at that. But I'm very excited for that, and trying to see how like diverse and how different it's going to be because with the songs that I've listened to, I imagine there's kind of a lot of diversity. With the band. But for people who aren't familiar with Sorry Mom and they are checking out this interview for the first time, what song would you recommend to a new listener to check out first?
Um. Oh, that's really hard to say. I think that every one of our songs sounds completely different.
Agreed.
I would say that at this point, like before our album comes out, I would say to check out either Hiccup or Shaving My Legs because I think our new album has a completely new sound from all of our old stuff, and even though the new album is going to be like very diverse and there's going to be a lot of weird genre hopping on there, I think that those songs are a good intro to the album. That's which is why we picked those for singles. So that would be my suggestion.
I also want to throw Molly into the hat there
Oh, okay.
because I think that that's a good one that shows our energy. It kind of was more live feel for us, and it's just a fun song.
I like that. I'll have to check that one out. That was the one that I was just about to click on before we hopped in the call. So I feel like for me, that's the one I'll have to check out, and I'll have to let every one of y'all know what's
Yeah,
good
that's
about it.
another kind of different one. It's more like surf punk.
Oh wow.
Um,
Okay.
so yeah, kind of another like genre getting thrown in there.
Do you feel like you guys, since the songs have been kind of diverse, do you feel that the musicality you want to kind of switch it up? Like, I obviously like feel like there wasn't an intention to just, okay, we're gonna do one song like this, we're gonna do one song like this, we're gonna do one song like this. But do you guys kind of go with the flow in regards to writing the songs and how they kind of make its way more into like either the punk side of things, more of the indie side of things? Like I think you guys kind of have this like fluidity in terms of the way that you write. So is that kind of more of the intentionality behind, Sorry Mom right now?
I think I write all of our songs. I start them by writing on an acoustic guitar,
Okay.
essentially, pretty much. Then I record like a voice memo and send it to them, and then the song happens. And I think a lot of the songs start with a sort of silly idea. So a lot of our songs, I actually came up with the name before I came up with the song. Um, there are definitely like moments in the new album where I just had a silly idea, and then it was kind of all of our problems to recreate it. Where I was like, "Hey, on the next album, by the way, I want a country song, and I want it to like have
Wow.
cowboys in it. Oh, and also I want a metal song, and like Harry needs to play a double kick pedal. Oh, and like also I want a song with clowns. Like there's no song with clowns.
Thank
But
God.
I
Maybe in the future, though. Maybe we'll think about that.
we definitely go into it. I think kind of being like, oh, we're gonna have like one song that does this, and one song that does that, and one song that does this, and then we work on it to make that happen because I think we all really appreciate having that like diversity and having such like a large amount of genre hopping in our shit.
I also think it makes the learning, like the listening experience, more interesting because I always love when bands kind of go outside of their wheelhouse and try to do different things within their album because I am an album stan. I love albums. I think it gives me a better idea of like the band as a whole. And as much as singles are great and all that sort of stuff, but I do feel like albums, you just get something extra that I just fall in love with. So I'm very excited to kind of delve in and see the different types of genres that you guys kind of hit and see how it kind of meshes. And I love looking at it from more of a bird's eye perspective of like, okay, they go through all these different genres. How are they able to still sound like Sorry Mom throughout the whole of it? And with the songs I've listened to right now, I think you do a good job of kind of again having that diversity of sound, but still have that like core like Sorry Mom feel to it. So I have high hopes that the album is going to be very much of the same thing. So I'm very excited. Is there any song particularly that you're excited for people to hear off the new album?
It's a good question. I have to look at the track list. Hang on.
Yeah.
I'm very bad with remembering
I also have
things.
to look at the track list.
Yeah. Give me 1 second.
That's all good.
There's a
It is a
lot
loaded
that are
question.
gonna yeah, there's a lot that are gonna be really cool. Oh boy. I feel like we're so deep into this album we haven't really picked a favorite song yet.
Wow.
I don't know, Juno, do you have an answer?
I think mine might be the country song that I had mentioned earlier. That we have a sort of a country song with some hooting and some hollering and some yeehaws, some banjo,
Wow.
um,
Okay, you guys went all out for that one.
a wooden block getting hit with a stick, that sort of thing. I'm very excited
That
to be able to hear that. I think people are like, I think that there's when people are listening through the album, there's no way that they're going to be expecting it to start playing, and when it starts playing, they're going to be like, "Did I switch albums?" So I think that would be mine.
I
Sorry
think
if
that might be
talk
mine
goes
too.
crazy.
Yeah, from like an audio perspective, it's been really fun to work on. We do everything in house, so
Oh, very nice.
Taryn and I do all of like the editing. I do the mixing. She does mastering. We recorded it ourselves too, and we did a fun thing with the country song where we posted a TikTok asking fans to send in like their best cowboy impression. So we got like 40, 50 people just sending in like yeehaw and stuff like that. We had one guy send in like a Mario impression, which I thought was hilarious. And what we did was I took all of them and put them all into like the song, and it's kind of
Yeah.
this bar track underneath everything. And I think it gives it like a really cool thing that not a lot of songs do. And it was a lot of fun to like put it together and make it feel like you're really like in the song. So I think it's like gonna be really a cool experience. And there's a banjo. Can't go wrong with that.
I'm excited to listen to that. I feel like it gives me that like saloon feel, like you go to a bar and you just hear a bunch of people just like clanking a bunch of like mugs and just a fight's gonna break out probably at some point. It's got that type of energy. So that one's gonna be interesting. I think that might be the first time I've ever heard a band do something like that. So that is gonna be interesting, to say the least. Um, but the next question I have for you guys is, who were some of the first artists where you like either saw them on TV or on YouTube, and you were like, I want to be a musician. That seems like such a cool thing. Was there any like artist or band that inspired you to just pick up an instrument?
For me, it was Green Day, definitely.
Oh,
I wasn't allowed to listen to music with curse words as a child,
same. Yeah.
but my older brother, when he would pick me up from school, would play the American Idiot album in his car and let me listen to it. And I thought that when I was like 7, 8 years old, I thought that album was the coolest shit I had ever heard. I was obsessed with it. Like, I have a tattoo of that album. And I remember like when I started to first be allowed to go on YouTube, all I would do was like watch videos of like Warped Tour backstage,
Oh,
like bands setting up equipment. So, like I would just like watch shit about like bands like living their lives, and it made me want to do it so bad. So I think Green Day started it for me.
nice.
For me, I think it was Iron Maiden. My dad was like a huge metalhead, and so I was growing up on a lot of that. And when I started playing bass, my dad actually was my first bass teacher and had me learn just
Oh,
like
that's awesome.
exclusively Iron Maiden songs. Yeah, it was really interesting, and so that was like very formative to my bass playing for a while. And I got to see him live, and it was just like an amazing experience. And I was like, I want to do that. So yeah.
That's awesome. That's such a cool thing. My parents did not teach me anything about musical instruments. I just wind up, picking the guitar up because I watched like a lot of like I play a lot of video games, so I like played Guitar Hero, and I was like, I gotta learn how to actually play guitar because that just seems like a lot cooler. And then got into it, and now I'm interviewing bands. So I feel like it's a full circle moment for me too. But yeah, that's such a great experience. I love when like family members have that way of like integrating into your life, like whether it be like saying like, oh yeah, like I love this band, let me teach you how to play bass, or from the aspect of like you have an older sibling and you're like, this band rocks, you should check them out, and then they kind of formulate your whole identity in that in the music space, so that's just such a wholesome thing, so I love that. But in terms of the more current artists that you guys are like listening to, who are some of the more current artists that formulate your sound now?
Right now, I've been listening to a lot of Black Country New Road. When I was writing the album, I was listening to a bit of Mitski.
Nice.
Always kind of constant players. They're like Jeff Rosenstock for me. I was also when I was writing this album listening to a lot of Ogbert the Nerd. If you've heard of them, they're this
Oh
really
yeah.
yeah, they're the great emo band out of New Jersey. Some would say the last emo band right now.
That's fair, yeah.
Um, who else? And Glockamora. I'm gonna say Glockamora. I was listening to a lot of when I wrote the album, specifically their YouTube songs, which there's two of, and they're not on Spotify, and they're the best songs that they have. So that was what I was listening to a lot of when I wrote the album.
I have currently been on like a disco and funk binge for the past year.
Mm.
Can't really explain why, but I've been listening to a lot of like Jamiroquai and a band called Twerp. So a lot of that went into my bass lines for this album.
I did kind of pick up on some of that stuff. I would say more so with Teeth. I was like, is she like throwing some really interesting bass riffs in here? And I feel like I have more of an appreciation for bass because over the pandemic, I was like, I play guitar, I should like learn how to play bass. So then I bought a bass, and now all of them are collecting dust collectively together. So that's my journey. But I it made me appreciate bass more. So I love that. So I feel like funk music is super underrated for like the just like bass riffs. They're tight. So I
Yeah,
love that.
completely agree with that. Yeah.
But the next question I have for you guys is, what are you listening to more currently? What's on your Spotify? What are you listening to more on a daily basis now?
Let me check my Spotify.
It's a
I
good
just
move.
discovered this band called the Toy Dolls, which they're, I think, British, and they're kind of like a punk band. They're just a
Oh,
trio, and they have a bunch of music out from like the 80s and 90s that I've just been like having on repeat. They're just like a fun group to listen to.
love that.
I've been listening to a lot of Amy Winehouse recently.
Ooh,
Good.
Weirdly, a lot of Krayshawn. I kind of can't stop listening to Krayshawn. Um, so good. I've also been listening to a lot of Lori Berkner Band. She writes for music for children, and I am a preschool teacher. So
oh,
I spend all of my days listening to Lori Berkner. I think she's gonna come in top of my Spotify rap this year. I especially like the Goldfish song. It's my favorite.
all right. I'll have to play a little snippet for the fam out here. I never heard of this, so now I'm gonna have to. I hope it doesn't end up on my Spotify top 10 Raptor. Then I'd have some questions. But
pretty good.
Okay, okay. I'll take your word for it, Gino. But the the next question I have for you guys is what would be a song you'd love to cover? I did see you do one live, Cleopatra by the Lumineers, but if there was another one you could add to the repertoire, which one would you choose?
Oh gosh.
I've always kind of wanted to cover Pristine by Snail Mail.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I think that one could be fun. I've also always really wanted to cover like what is it called? East Northumberland High by Miley Cyrus. Like, you're my type of guy. Like the Disney Channel one.
Yes.
That'd be really funny. Yeah. Those would be my answers.
I think it would be really fun to do like a punk cover of "Take a Hint" from Victorious.
Oh my god, yeah, we've talked about that. That'd be so good.
Yeah, we've talked
That
about
would be
that before.
wild.
It would be a really fun one.
That's a good one. That's a deep cut. I like that. I think I might have to. Ooh, that's so tough. I don't know. Yeah, that would be good. I think you guys could crush it. I have faith, you know. But if you do have any suggestions for Sorry Mom in regards to a cover song, drop them in the comments. Let them know what you'd love to hear from them. That'd be amazing. I can't guarantee they'll do a cover song of that song that you suggested, but you know, it's worth putting it out there.
We'll do our best. We'll do our best.
The next question I have is what is your favorite food to eat?
Oh, this is kind of embarrassing to admit, but I kind of have an obsession with tomatoes. So like any dish with tomato in it, I will happily eat. I don't know why, but from a young age, I just have not been able to stop eating them.
How is that? I'm trying to decipher how that's like just odd. I feel like people like tomato.
Because everybody I've told have just been like, "What is wrong with you? Why do you do that?"
Are you just-
Kari eats more tomatoes than like the average guy.
Yeah.
Like Kari will eat like scraps of tomatoes off a sandwich. Tomato like an apple.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fair. Okay, the tomato like an apple might have got me a little bit. I could understand that, but I don't know. People eat like pasta sauce all the time, and that's like literally just tomato.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's a little weird when you just like eat pasta sauce like a soup. I don't do that. I just want to make sure. I want that to be clear. I don't do that.
You asked this food question as I just started to eat some salt and vinegar chips, and they're making me physically recoil because I hate salt and vinegar chips. So you see me twitching, that's why.
Juno is an amazing cook. So whenever we go
Oh.
on tour, we have the best meals, like the best breakfast, all the
I
time.
love to cook. I made a dinner for Eid last night. Pretty good stuff.
What was it?
Yummy. I made beef biryani with goat cheese and scallion stuffed dates, and then I made a like date pistachio tzatziki like flatbread with like a honey glaze over it, and then I had like fried plantains. So that was Eid's dinner.
What?
It was really yummy.
I didn't know. I'm not dissing like the actual meal. I'm more surprised that those are all of the components of the entire meal that you have made.
Oh yeah,
That's insane.
I cook like crazy, like way too much. I like blow up our kitchen every time I cook because I do like 7-course meals on like a Tuesday night.
That's insane. Well, we can all go to Juno's house and have a 7-course meal. That just sounds delish. I'm about it.
It will be. It will be delicious.
I'm not. Whatever you just said, I'd love to have. Can you send me like 5 of those? That'd be great.
Got it.
Oh.
Coming your way.
All right. The next question I have for you guys is if there was a dream collaboration you'd love to happen, who would you love to work with?
Green Day.
That's a great choice.
Yeah.
Green Day. Maybe My Chemical Romance.
Ooh.
Ooh. Yeah.
Cool. How they like went away for so many years, and the entire time they were gone, all anyone did was like beg them to come back. And then when they came back, they were just like more famous than they were before. Like that's crazy. I want a slice of that pie. Also, I'm also a really big My Chemical Romance fan. They were my favorite band when I was like 11. So that would be cool.
I would agree. As a former New Jerseyan, I have a lot of love for My Chem as being like one of the most infamous bands from the state. So
Yeah.
I know we have a lot,
I love
but
New Jersey. New Jersey has all of the best music coming out of it pretty much at any given time.
Are they
they're
from
crushing
New
it.
Jersey? I don't
Sure
think I
are.
knew that. Oh,
There
interesting.
are.
Yep,
It's like
represent.
Pine Grove and Albert the Nerd, and there's like 1,000 bands that are from Jersey that are like all in my top 100 like Spotify artists. I'm a
Yeah,
Jersey head.
we are. Yeah, I am also a Jersey head, Juno. So I feel like we're on the same wavelength. As
Nice.
I love that. Always shout out to my New Jersey fam. Love them. But I also am like just a state over in Pennsylvania. So I'm within distance. So it's nice. Um, but yeah, my chem would be really sick, and I'm so glad that they're getting that resurgence back again because, I feel like emo is hit the revival. Everybody, it's kind of weird to me because I'm older, so I feel like it's I used to listen to that type of music and people used to bully me over that type of music, and now I listen to it and everybody's like, "Yeah, I used to love My Chem." I was like, Did you like My Chem? Really though? Like, I don't believe that, but I mean, hey, whatever. I'll take it. They're back. It's respect. That's amazing. But guys, if you would love to hear the collab of the century, being Sorry Mom, Green Day, and My Chem, you need to go onto Twitter, and I'm going to tag all three of those bands, and then type the word collab ? And again, I'm not a legal scholar, but I would say if it's on the internet, there's a fair chance it could be real. So might as well put it out in the existence of the universe. So if you want to make that happen, you just hit that retweet button, and we're all good. We're golden. It's awesome. So do it up. That'd be really sick. The next question I have for you guys is, if there was another musical instrument you could master, what would it be?
Ooh.
I think I'd start by mastering guitar.
You're not that bad, Juno. You gotta give yourself some credit.
I'm no fucking master. I think if we're talking mastery, I think I would love to master the guitar. And then after that, the accordion.
Oh, classic.
I play a lot of weird instruments, so I dabble in a lot of things. I actually do play the accordion. I would love to master it though, because I am just a beginner at the moment. But I think I would love to also learn how to play guitar.
Oh,
I only ever have played bass, and so I'm just used to the one note thing, and I would love to figure out how to do more than one.
it is difficult. I will say that.
Yeah,
I
takes
think
a lot of it.
I think you hit that threshold. I always tell people it's like you hit that threshold on guitar, and then after that, then you're golden. But if you don't make it to that threshold, it's like it can be very rough. So it's my
Yeah.
suggestion to anybody wants to play guitar. That's what you gotta do. You gotta go through the pain a little bit, unfortunately, but it's worth it. I think. I would argue. And Juno's a fine guitar player, so that's all I'm gonna say. And then they were just like beaten down, but I think it's good. I liked it.
I'm not even being down. I would just love to be a master of it.
You be
Like, like
Like
When-
shredding all over stage, yeah.
yeah, one day. Like some people can like play guitar with their like mouth and with their like assholes and shit. Like I want to go to those. I want to be one of those people playing guitar with my nipples on stage.
That would be interesting.
Master.
That would be impressive.
That would be
Yeah.
impressive.
That would be mastery.
That would
That
be
would
some.
be mastery.
that would be a sight to see. That's all I'm gonna leave it at that. That's.
One day.
I hope that I'm at least in the audience to see it. That would be what an incredible thing to add to my list of things I've seen in my life.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we'll let you know when we get to that point. We'll
I'll
make
let
sure
you know when I become a master.
Okay, awesome. The next question I have for you guys is, if you were to compile a dream tour lineup, including Sorry Mom, who would be on it?
Green Day and My Chem. Probably.
Yeah.
Maybe throw Paramore in there too.
Oh,
Well, I
all
could,
right.
why not?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. I want to go on tour with Gogol Bordello. Because it seemed not even because we sound anything alike or have any overlap in fan base, and to be frank, I don't even think they'd like us. But I know that they like have the yummiest food, and I bet they're just having like the best time on tour. I'd like to party with them. I would definitely like to party with them.
It's all about the vibes.
It's all, yeah. It's food, vibes, and great bands. I think that checks all the boxes. You
Mhm.
know, I think Sorry Mom might have like the best culinary band out there in existence. I don't want to be the first to say it, but I mean, Juno blew me away with the type of cuisine they're able to create. So I don't know. I'm very curious. If you think you're a better band cuisine wise, let me know in the comments. I want to see what you'd be crafting up. That'd be very sick.
We'll duke it out. I think we have to have like what is that cooking show? Master Chef? We have like a Master Chef of just bands.
Bands.
That would be sick.
Yeah, Judo, you'd
I
win
would do
that.
that
Hands
Yeah,
down.
you crush it. Crush. Yeah.
easily. Oh yeah.
Who's taking up the challenge? Let us know. I want to know. Bring out your best. Bring out your best chef. This sounds so. It feels like a call out a little bit, but hey, whatever. The next question I have for you guys is, I am sure you've seen a lot of bands in your time live, but who puts on a great live performance in terms of the bands you've seen?
That's Rosenstock for me. That was one of my favorite shows I've ever been to. Was seeing Jeff Rosenstock live. He's crazy. He just gets so sweaty. And the whole time he plays guitar, he's just stomping his feet like he's marching in place, and he gets so sweaty. And I remember seeing him, and I was like, "Whoa, that's sick! This guy's sweating his ass off, but he won't stop dancing."
That's awesome. For me, I think Twerp was the best show I've seen live, just because it was like a smaller venue. And
Oh,
it was
nice.
packed and everyone had a great time, and they just absolutely killed it. Like such good energy. Also, Foo Fighters
Oh,
were awesome. Yeah,
I'm assuming you got to
They're-
see them with Taylor. Is that correct?
I did. Yeah, and I'm from Seattle, and so I got to see them in Seattle. And it was a hometown show. They brought Chris Novoselic out and did some Nirvana songs, and it was a very special concert to be at.
Wait,
Yeah, and I went
Taylor,
with my mom, and she loved it. It was so cute.
Taylor Swift and Foo Fighters did like a
No,
thing
not
together?
Taylor.
No. Taylor Hawkins, their drummer.
There's
He unfortunately passed away, but
Oh, oops,
yeah.
Oh no, sorry.
No, it's all right. I should have
I
prefaced
thought that
it.
they were like on the tour with Taylor Swift, and I was like, weird, but okay.
That would be
a crazy lineup.
that would be a crazy lineup, but man, I've never been more jealous in my entire life. I think that would have been that would have been a great experience. That's one band that I need to see live. I think that if they do wind up doing a tour, I'm gonna have to pay tickets to go see them. That's like,
Definitely recommend.
I'm just such a Dave Grohl stan too. I just love Dave Grohl. He's like I feel like he's my dad, So I that'd be peak me if I was able to interview Dave Grohl. So every day I'm gonna keep trying.
I get it.
I'm gonna keep trying. So guys, get me to Dave Grohl. That'd be sick. I'd cry. Definitely on camera, 100%. So, but the next question I have for you guys is favorite TV show, favorite movie.
Oh, I don't watch a lot of TV, so it's kind of a hard question to answer.
You can double up on the movie if you want.
You're more of a film person, so you go first. Well, I
literally just turned and asked my roommate, "What's my favorite TV show?" I do
Phone in
like
a friend.
Fargo. Sorry, my favorite TV show is Fargo right now.
That's
It's
a good
such
one.
a good show. It is like so well made. Watched it with my younger brother, who has like the best taste probably ever. He got me into it. Favorite movie? I'm really into right now this Polish horror film called The Lure by Agnieszka Slovan something. And it's a really, really cool kind of retelling of The Little Mermaid. but like it's also a Polish horror film that takes place in a strip club where the mermaids come to work. So that is one of my favorite movies right now. I also really like the movie Juno. That's probably like an all timer for me.
That
And
checks.
yeah, those would be my picks.
I think for TV show, I think you should leave.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
up there. That was like my pandemic obsession. And I think for movie, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure,
That's a good
probably.
one.
Yeah.
I can rock with that. That's it. I think I'll have to check out Juno's pick for that Little Mermaid horror movie that just took like so many turns that now I need to know what's going on. Like I think my curiosity like ignited and was like, what is this movie? How is this movie plus this movie?
It's very cool. It's also I can also tell you it's a musical.
What?
I don't know, how do you find these
How do
films?
you?
I was a film major in college, and I did.
Fair enough.
I was a focus in horror films directed by women, and those tend to be really really weird. So I just happen to know a lot of really weird movies.
That seems
So
that seems to be the answer here. I'm gonna have to check that one out. That just seems just crazy enough to maybe work. So I think that I'll have to give it a watch. But the next question I have for you guys: if you were trapped on a desert island for the next month and there was one album you could bring with you to listen to, what album would it be?
the new Mac DeMarco album, because I will never. I mean, it's 9 hours long, so
Oh
it
my
probably
god!
won't feel like you're listening to the same song over and over. Yeah. So probably that one.
You said we're only on this desert island for a month.
1 month. Yeah, I'm not a cruel human being. I hope.
I would probably then pick the new Black Country New Road like live album that they just put out live at Bush Hall. Because if I was on a desert island, I'd probably get pretty sad, and so I'd listen to them.
I hope not. Everybody turns this into like an emo thing. I'm just like, yo, if you're just like vibing out on an island, just by yourself,
Yeah.
what album would you bring?
Maybe ants from up there by them I would bring instead.
Ooh, okay.
I like that one.
I'll probably have to make like a PSA about this question. Just be like, listen, it's just somewhere you can vibe out. I'm not trying to say you're gonna like die or something. You're just having a vacation, man. That's great. So
That's a vacation. Okay.
yeah.
Because otherwise, I'd have to pick music that I could like work to that would like motivate me, so I could like build my hut, kill some boar.
Just see Juno at work. It'll be very interesting. I'm sure they would build a great house. So I'm rooting for you guys. But the last question I have for you is my personal favorite. I've been asking this a lot in all of my current interviews. I love interviewing bands. This has been a large passion of mine for many years. And I want to know why you guys are passionate about the music that you make with Sorry Mom and why you do music. Because I think it is, we think about it from the aspect of like, oh, these songs are great. I love listening to music, but there's a lot of heart, there's a lot of effort that goes into, the process of a band. So, what fuels your passion to want to keep doing this?
I think for me, it's that we have like I said, I'm kind of addicted to the numbers and the stats and being like, how many percentage of our listeners are this or that, and we have an overwhelming percentage of teenage girls that listen to our
awesome.
music, which is specifically something I've used. I've heard people use that to like make fun of bands before and be like, oh, like you make music for teenage girls, and I really really love that we make music for teenage girls. No one fucking listens to them, and someone's got to make music for them. And I love being able to put out music and hear the response of like young people and young queer people, specifically young women, reaching out and saying that they are able to feel seen or feel heard from our music, that we feel like we're writing something that speaks to them, that something that they can like enjoy, but it doesn't have to like compromise their queerness or like be about a
Yeah,
man or I really like being able to do that. I think that's my main motivation for the tweens.
I love that, Juno.
Yeah. I think that's definitely also a main motivation. But one thing that I really enjoy is that it's just fun. And I feel like a lot of musicians take themselves a little too seriously. And we try to not do that as much and just like be fun, like live shows are just such a good time. And just like, life it should be fun. Like, why are you living if you're not enjoying it? Like, just find something that you enjoy. And that's what we enjoy. So.
I love that. I
We like
feel
to have fun.
I am the same way. I'm a massive goofball, so I feel like for me that was like the type of energy that I got from Sorry Mom. So for me that was great, but I also love being able to highlight like people of color, people from obviously different backgrounds and stuff, and that means a lot to me as someone who's Asian American. I want to be able to highlight other people and be able to have that experience because there's so many things that other people write about, and I don't live the same experience that you do, and you guys don't live the same experience that I live. So for me to kind of take away stuff from Sorry Mom, I think is a huge thing. And I hope that I'm able to share that experience with other people, and for other people to check out Sorry Mom, because I think they write great music. They're obviously hilarious, and they're like Michelin star chefs. I mean, like, come on, I don't think you could really get any better, honestly, if you ask me. Cream of the crop here. So, but the last thing, the most important thing, I imagine, the reason why you guys are on here, if I'm allowed to spoil it, but you have a new album coming out on May the 12th called Babyface. I'm very excited to give it a listen. By the time this comes out, it will also be out. So I have to ask, like, how are you guys in regards to the excitement of the release? I'm sure you guys are, patiently awaiting for May the 12th to come, but, how excited are you guys leading up to that process of the album releasing? I'm sure it's going to be a great relief off your shoulders.
I'm
Very
stressed as
excited.
fuck, but I'm very excited. I can't wait for everybody to hear it and listen to it. Please, please listen to it. But yeah, I'm very excited.
Yeah, it's really exciting. And we also have a tour going along with it that we start on May 18th. So if you are in northeast area,
I am.
especially from we're stopping in Pennsylvania, right? We have a show
We
there.
are. We
Philly.
are playing at Milk Boy in Philly.
Oh, I love it. I'll have to
Yeah.
come out and see you.
Have you heard
Absolutely.
of Froggy? If you're from Pennsylvania, have you heard of the band Froggy?
I have not. No, I'll have to check them out as
they're
well.
They're who we're going on tour with, and they're just another
Very
very
sick.
cool like femme punk band coming out of Philly right now, and they're super young. I think they all actually just got out of high school, but they've been like sponsored by 7-Eleven before. Yeah, they're super cool.
What a weird sponsorship, but awesome nonetheless. I mean, I would take a Slurpee sponsorship right now, So that's great.
I love those group sponsorships. They're wonderful.
I don't know if Sorry Mom has a sponsor, but if they're not, get on it. That would be sick. I
No
would
sponsors
feel-
yet.
We don't, but we did play a show for the Portland Pickles minor league baseball team, which that was a very cool thing that we did. So
Also, for some reason, Crash Bandicoot is gonna send us shirts with our names on them.
What?
And they also let us play their new game, like the beta test of it. I genuinely don't know how or why that happened, but
shout out to Becky again.
but
She's
that
so
happened,
wonderful.
so that's sick.
Yeah, so we love stuff like that. So if you're like a weird company and want to sponsor us, hit us up.
That is the weirdest. I think that might have been the weirdest sponsorship I think I've ever been heard. Oh my god, that's amazing. But the last thing, tell them where they can find Sorry Mom at. Obviously, you can list off where you guys are going to be playing on tour as well, and anything else you would like to plug about your band.
We are
You can
on.
find us, everywhere.
Yeah, we're on everything. We're going on tour. We start May 18th. We're starting in DC and ending at Boston Calling. We're playing Sunday, same day as Paramore, King Gizzard. And tickets aren't sold out yet. So even if you're not coming for us, you should come for them and then see us in the morning before they play.
That's what you should do. That's important. You know, Sorry Mom rips. And if you aren't checking them out, this is the perfect time to
Paramore
start.
closes for Sorry Mom.
There we go. We love
We're
it.
just really happy to support like small bands, you know, like Paramore and King Gizzard. Like it's good that we were able to give them a platform and a stage. I hope that everyone that's coming out to see our show goes and stops by and checks out their stuff afterwards. You might find something. You might find an undiscovered gem.
Oh my God, that was great. Well, listen. The Sorry Mom is the biggest band out on the face of the earth right now. So if you aren't listening,
Hard to be a god.
you're under a rock. You know, so stop living under the rock. You know, come out of the rock and go check out Sorry Mom. All of the links will be in the description. Their new album, Babyface, is out now, so go pick that up too. That'd be really sick. And if you can go out see them on tour on the Northeast, awesome. I will be at the Philly show, so come say hi to me. That'd be really sick. But yeah, if you enjoyed it, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. It goes a long way. And huge thanks to Sorry Mom for coming on today. It was awesome.
And thank you for having us. This was
Thank you. It was great
wonderful
to
fun.
chat.